Good morning, guys. It's May the 13th. I'm Henry Green from London Trading Group, and I'm just going to run through what we're looking for in the markets for today. So, euro dollar, we think potentially, I think, has another move lower now. So, although we had a bullish close on Wednesday, I think now we've kind of recouped all of that small rally, and now it does point lower. And the zone that I like is down at 113.20. So I think that's a really good zone to be targeting. Again, I'm looking for a pullback, maybe into these moving averages that are holding. I think the 50 is a really good one at the moment. It seems to hold on any rally, or any sort of small rally, before it then comes off. And 113.90 therefore stands at a really good level. So I'm going to be looking for that as a potential first sell zone, and then through the lows I'm going to be probably adding. And I think down to, you can be looking down to sort of 113.20 down towards 113, and certainly when it gets down there I'll be looking to limit off at 113.20, see how it responds. If it manages to push through to 113, great. If not, then I'll be taking everything off at sort of 113. So my two zones are going to be firstly down to 113.20 and then 113. I think on the short side I'm not really looking for this as a buy today. As I said, if it pulls back into the 50, then that will be my initial position. Cable had a really, it kind of looked like it wanted to rally yesterday and then rejected off the highs of 145.30, and we're now back down again. And so where do we think this is going to go? Well, this is just chop. I mean, I don't think anyone could probably tell you exactly where it's going to go today, and I'm not going to try to. All I'm going to say is that it's going to potentially stay with there's nothing to suggest that we're going to break this. If I had to pick a side, I do favour the long side in cable, because as you can see, we've broken this 60-minute counter trend line. We did hit the D. I'm going to count that as a D hit now. So if we put these fibs in, A, B, we are now looking for the top side of 145.50 to be hit. So if we do get that rally in cable and euro comes off, then euro sterling could be a really good short for today. My longer time frame picture is that cable goes higher. I think maybe towards 150. I do think this is a good level for it to hold at. We talked about this level 143.80 earlier in the week, and we have just messed around it. So let's see what happens here. But again, I'm looking for this to potentially rally today. So that's what I'm going to be looking for in cable for today's trading. Dollar yen, let's have a look at this one. Dollar yen, what does the day look like? Okay, so yesterday's was a rejection off of 109.40 again, and we're just in a tight range in this one now, kind of trapped between 109.40 and 108.20. So they're the kind of two zones that I'm looking for in terms of just a sideways market. The fibs are being taken out all over the shop, so that's kind of a signal to me straight away that we're just in a range with dollar yen. And so I'm not going to be potentially looking to take too much out of this, if at all. So we had a first push up to the 127. We held, and for me this has to be a buy now. There's no reason why I can sell this. The high probability trade, if it hadn't a close through here, is back to the 38. So that would have been back down to 107.70. But as we haven't, I've got to look for the top side in this one. So dollar yen potentially back up towards 110. Now, yesterday was quite a nice bounce off 108.35, so I do like that aspect. And the rejection off 109.40 was kind of capped. Where did it get to? Hang on a second. So it closed at 109. So just a small rejection from 109.40. So obviously watch it when it gets back up there. But certainly I do think that if I had to favour a side, I'd be playing the long side, because I think a close, if you get an hourly close, a strong close back above sort of 109.40, I think the path is clear up towards up to 110. So that's what I'm going to be looking for dollar yen. Certainly it looks like it wants to hold at the moment. Again, this moving average that we're down at the moment could be a really good buy zone. So this, I really like to use these custom moving averages, and the 80 at the moment on dollar yen is serving really nicely. So if I get a true test of 108.66, I'll probably be looking to buy an initial position in dollar yen to take it up through the highs, and then we see where the 110 is taken on in that one. Dollar CAD. This one. Dollar CAD potentially was just a nice rejection yesterday off the 21 moving average. It didn't ping it, but it certainly didn't manage to close below it. So we got that move through the 127. We nearly got to 127.60. I'd probably count that in a retracement as a hit. So I'm going to probably count that as a hit now. I don't expect it to have another break. And now I'm going to continue to look for the long side in this, which is with the direction that I think this now goes. So if we do get that long side taken, we have shown the first side of weakness with this close through the trend line. So maybe a pullback and go. All of these seem to be lining up for potential dollar strength here today. All of them are leading me to think that. Yesterday's rejection off indecision bar off a nice rejection from the 21 moving average on the day, for me leads dollar CAD higher, and I've got to be looking for the top side. I think the clear out's happened, and the nice rejection from that level suggests to me now that we potentially can push higher. So it was a 127 fail. And now I see this potentially running on to the D target. Now, some people might have this as a hit, and if you do, then we're already there and we've taken out the A. But if not, I think a push back up to 130 again maybe looks like it should really be hit today. Aussie, we're back down in the buy zone again. This was what I'd kind of talked about in Aussie. I quite like this little dip lower as a potential zone to hold again. So once more, it's held at the 127. It really doesn't want to break through 172.90, 72.90, not 172.90, 72.90. It doesn't want to break and hold through. So what I'm going to look for this one is again a rejection in this zone, and then potentially look to take this higher. I think you've got quite an easy move higher in Aussie. And overall, I mean, if we manage to get down to 72, then that would be a great buy zone for this one. Certainly a really good level of support. But 72.90 for me is a really good buy zone. If we manage to 72 is a really good buy zone. If we don't and we hold here, then I think this rallies significantly, and I really do like this to rally. But obviously we've got to break through this trend line, which is still quite easily intact. As you can see, it's up here, and I'm going to be looking for easy buys. I potentially think up to there, should this hold. And today's a key day for the Aussie, because if it doesn't hold today, then the week is very, very bearish. So an interesting one, but I like this first sideways. A's and B's have been taken out all over the shop, so, and then a blip lower, and then it goes higher. Is one of my favourite setups actually. So let's see what happens in this today. 73 is a good level of support, so let's see whether it holds. Kiwi. Let me just get my daily chart up. 2 seconds. Okay, Kiwi again. It was just a rejection from the double top level. I like that rejection, so I think Kiwi is a sell now today. So although we've broken through this counter trend line on the bottom side, that was just because of the retest, I believe. So what I'm going to actually do now is say that this is the major trend line that's been broken, and it's broken back below it again. It's not holding on it anymore. So I'm going to be looking for the short side, and again looking for good areas to sell this. I do think the formation on the day leads Kiwi lower, and so I'm going to be looking for shorts on this one today. I think that could be a really good play. So if you do get a sell, let's have a look. So again, we've talked at length about the dollar index being potentially choppy. So what does this show us? Well, at the moment we ran onto the 127 and failed. So that's a good sign for me in a pullback that we fail there. So if you put this, if you put this line in, so that's the current trend line. We have now broken that, and now we're potentially looking for lower. So 50-minute lower high through the lows, I'd potentially be looking to sell that. And I think on the daily, it should trade lower. The only thing you've got to watch out for is that 200 moving average, which it's respected again. But I think maybe to take on 67.50 looks pretty reasonable. If we put the fibs in on the downside, where do they take us to? So we've not taken them out yet, but we managed to get, halfway between. So yeah, I think 67.20 is that a level. Yeah, 67.20 I think is a really good target for this one. I've got a good daily level there, and also it's banging between the 127 and the 618 with a retracement between those two levels. So I do like that. 67.20 for me seems like quite a reasonable target. You're looking for 80 pips if it was to break now, and I think that's pretty clear. Okay guys, so I'm looking for I've got a few things lined up. The only one I like potential strength for is cable, only because of my longer term direction in that one. I think Euro probably comes off. I think dollar yen rallies. Dollar CAD looks like it could have a break upwards, and certainly Aussie and Kiwi look like they could get they have further downside pressure, certainly the Kiwi. And I think the Aussie's probably going to be stronger against the Kiwi, so maybe Aussie Kiwi long as well today. Okay guys, I hope that's been useful and you've had a good week trading. Please leave any comments. Feel free to leave them below. Click subscribe to never miss a video again, and I'll be back on Monday with a roundup for what we're looking for in the next coming week. So happy trading today, and I'll speak to you on Monday. Thanks very much.